Alrighty folks, Board Bob here. So let's get started on our science, shall we? So the first thing we're going to do is, well, you can see I squared out this corner. It kind of went this way. I wanted some extra room to be able to set this up here and not waste too much. And we had all that stone, so I figured, what the heck, landfill. So I landfilled this in. We're going to set up two assembly sites here, one for red science and one for green science. So let's grab our there we go. So each of these, red and green, both require two items. Now, generally speaking, these will tend to keep up with the higher end items. They take a lot longer to manufacture than these ones do. So again, even though I want to kind of start avoiding using my doubled up belts for things for this configuration, I'm going to go ahead and do it for this, and simply because I know these will keep up with everything else. I don't have any concern that they won't. So first thing we want to do is we want to decide where we're going to put these. And we got our red and our green coming in here, and we got two other inputs coming in here that we're going to have to run in from somewhere. We'll probably bring them over and down. So I think what we may well do, and I know this is a pain in the butt to do it, is we may scoop up all of that science and use these bottom two inputs, and then we'll go ahead and reserve these top two inputs to come over from the side. So first thing we want is we're going to want to set down our blueprints. Now, of course, our output's facing the wrong way. We got a choice. We can either flip it this way and have our output come in and change where our input goes, or we can flip it and have our output come out and move our output down. Either way, one's coming in from one side, one's coming in from the other side. We're going to run both over. So I'm just going to leave it the way it is, and I'm just going to run this over here. I'm going to put this here, and we're going to put the other one next to it. And we're going to change the outputs to be down here at the bottom portion of each of these. They'll come down here and be down here, just kind of like we did with the other one. I think that'll work just fine. So we'll go ahead and we'll delete this part of the layout, simply because we already know we're going to move this around a little bit. And we'll do that with the other one as well. Oops. Got a factory in the process. Oh well. Alright, so now here's the question. Which one do we bring in first? Do we do the red or do we do the green? Well, for the red, we know the red takes just a copper plate and gears. The green, on the other hand, takes the inserters and the transport belts. So let's look where we got these. And we're not going to steal off of here. We're going to pull them off the bus. Same as before. So for the green, we got both of them right here. So I think what we'll do is we will probably take the green up and leave it towards the bottom and come to this one, and then we'll bring the red science supplies to this one. What that's going to let us do is we're going to be able to split both of these belts off, and send one part of it that way and one part of it that way, and combine these belts up. So let's go ahead and lay down two splitters, right? And we'll do something a little different here. Well, you know what? Let's do something a little. I know it shouldn't matter, but let's do something here. Even though I know it shouldn't matter. Okay? We're going to do that. No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. I'm being stupid. I'm overthinking what I'm doing here. these two are going to go over that way. So we'll make our turn there, bring that one up, make our turn there. That's going to come under, right? And then have that come up there, that come up there. And there we go. So these can now just run right on over here. And right up there. And we haven't laid this out yet, so we're just bringing it over close to where it needs to be. And then at that point, these puppies can run right along and over here. And we're not going to go too far with them, because I don't want to have to pick up a, well, I guess it really doesn't matter. They're inserters and belts. We're going to, if we have to pick up a bunch, we have to pick up a bunch. We'll use them. Screw it. All right, so there's that. So that's going to feed over for that. Let's go ahead and get this one set up. Since we got everything over, all the splice going to it, let's go ahead and get it set up here. Oops, dummy. Alright, and throw in our splitter before our goes into. And now I'm kind of doing this bass backwards this time. Before I lay down the first, the inserters first, and then this, and then the belts, because that way I don't have to worry about, you know, riding on belts and lining things up. We ran out of belts. Let me go get some belts. Of all, how ironic is that, right? Of all the things to run out of, we ran out of belts. Oh, we're taking some damage. Where are we taking some damage? Minor. So let's grab ourselves a fair number of belts here. Now, I could run these back this way and come under, but the thing with that is then I'd need 2 underground belts. I'm going to need one anyway, but rather have used just one and go under with one than to have to go under with 2. You know, it saves us one. You know, every little bit helps, right? All right, so there's that. Now the kicker with putting these yellow inserters down is that after we finish up the science, the next thing we are going to work on is to establish our production for at least our red and yellow, well, we already got our yellow belt production, but we're going to establish our red production, but we're going to establish it for our belts, our splitters, and our undergrounds. So here I am putting these in, and then after that we'll look at establishing our setup for our inserters. Although we don't have red chips yet, we can at least kind of get it started. Is kind of my thought process. So it's just kind of ironic a little bit that here we are going through all of this to set this stuff up using, yellow belts, yellow inserters, yellow splitters, only to turn around and very soon pick them all back up. But, like I had said, this gets us started. This gets us headed in the right direction. Oops. Alright, and then underneath of there, you know what, I want to back this up one in case we ever have to do something funky. Now all we need is poles. And this particular layout, I think I've said this before, but this particular layout is set up to basically use these small poles. It takes up a lot of room, I guess, what have you. But down the road, we'll design a setup which basically uses substations, and we'll lay things out a lot better and whatnot. But for now, this one serves us quite well, I think. I mean, we never did change out from what we were from this particular setup in the last series, and it really kind of served us rather well. Oh, wait a minute, what did I change that? Oh, I changed it to the wrong thing. See, I get to talking, and then I don't get to paying attention, and then I make stupids. I mean, it's not terrible. It certainly served us all the way through the last series, all the way up to getting the rocket launched and what have you. So it's generally a fairly workable system. And it's going to get us started, and it's going to get us going, and then once we get ourselves going, then I will worry about coming up with a new way of configuring things. But for now, this works quite well. And we're going to go ahead, like I say, and pick up all of this stuff that we can and put it in chests. So we still have some black on there. Okay. As you can see, I went ahead and made more. Oh, you know what? Probably should have done that first. Again, I ain't real bright sometimes. All right. Well, you know what? That's okay, because that'll save us splitting it out. We can just put it right in that chest. We'll get this out of here, and we'll put that in that chest. How much more do we got that's on the line? If we go over here, can we catch up to it? Almost. It's hard to run on these if you're not quick on the keyboard, and I'm not quick on the keyboard sometimes. I never learned to type. I kind of taught myself. I use the Columbus method. Discover it and land on it. Also known as the HPC method, hunt, poke, and cuss. But that is the extent of my typing ability. It gets me by, but it sucks when you're having to write HTML and things like that, because I can't touch type to save my life. Now, I could have brought that over, and I didn't. And I didn't just because I'm me, basically. I don't know. I'm a little anal retentive sometimes, and I tend to like to snuggle that stuff in, close to one another. Not a big fan of killing myself with the spaghetti. Not that I don't do it, but I try not to as best I can. I just don't accomplish it very often. All right, so there's that. Set ourselves down some assemblers. And set ourselves down some inserters. Beep beep. I know, I shut up. Sorry. I just kind of trying to concentrate and get these things lined up properly. And that tends to cause me to try and walk and chew bubble gum at the same time, kind of thing. And it don't work too well. So rather than make mistakes, I'm trying to pay attention to what I'm doing. Otherwise I do things like that right there. Alright, so there's that. So let's bring this one down. And make them happy with one another. And if we bring that one down here, see, we only got one space there, so we have to be careful because we have to come back this way. So we want to put this up here. Come down there. Now the reason I crossed over this one is again the same as what I was doing with the other splitters. Now I haven't done it to this one because it's, I don't know whether it's going to kind of foul things up or not. And at one time I had planned on being able to expand this out, but I'm not going to because I'm not using it that way. But the thought process being, if things slow down to the point where there's nothing on here, at least I'm getting those 4 other ones back out of my system. I'm not losing those particular ones that are held up in the queue there, if you will. You know, it's not a lot, but you know, it's 4, which, you know, 4 is 4. Dad, how come you ate that mouse? Well, son, $20 is a lot of money. Inside joke from back in my Army days. But yeah, it's funny. It's funny to me. Probably not funny to anybody else, but it's a funny little story to me. I'm not gonna share it because those individuals who are involved probably wouldn't appreciate that too much. So I think we'll leave it at that. I don't know if Joe Mama knows about it or not. He might actually know about that story. I'll have to ask him one of these days. He may know that story. Alright, so now we want to bring up our supplies for this. So we want copper plates, we want iron gears. Where can we grab them? Well, we grab them right here. Now, one of the things I plan to do right after we split this off is we have reached the top of this column. We're going to go ahead and do a right turn right here, but we're not going to pivot off of the green. I think we're going to pivot off of this plate right here. So we're going to cut this down a little bit and turn it. We'll bring this one straight over, and then we'll pivot from there. But in the interim, we do want to bring up gears, and we do want to bring up a copper plate. So let's go ahead. And where did we split off of this down here? I guess it really probably doesn't matter because we don't have a whole lot coming off of this yet. Why am I doing it that way? Why not? Let's do it this way. Alright, let's see. Okay, so we've pulled off of the first two for this. So, technically speaking, in keeping with our method of doing things, we should probably pull off of this third one right here to go up there. Now, I just got done saying that trying to save underground belts, but in this particular case, I'm going to want to go ahead and put in a couple of belts just to keep things. And if I'm losing out either way. I'm doing 2 belts here, or I'm doing 2 belts here. We're going to do 2 belts here. So we'll go from, say, there to there. Right. And then we'll put that in. Alright, there we go. There's that one. And then we need our gears. Now for our gears, we could be a little sneaky, I suppose, since we are going to turn this corner. Let's do this. Since we're going to be turning this corner anyway, let's back these up. We're going to back that up. All right, and then we're going to make this. We're going to make this turn. Like I say, we're going to make it right there at that first one. Right, and we're going to pull that one out that way. And we're keeping our 3 spaces here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. It's 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, belt. Right? So we're going to bring this first one up. That marks where we got to make our turn. And then our next one, and our next one. And this is where we're going to get a little creative. Oops. First we're going to go get some more belts. Huh, that was strange. Wonder why it skipped them. Whatever. Who knows? Alright, so that's coming up. That's coming up. This is where we're going to get a little sneaky. Before we run this green up, let's do this. Let's split this off. Let's put our underground, right? Yeah, because we're going to have to jump under anyway. Alright, so now, rather than run another underground, let's do this. Alright, so there's our gears, right? Let's do this. Let's bring this out, and then up. And that way we kind of, we it saved us a single underground, I guess. But, you know, and kind of lets us do it. Okay, so there we go. So now, right? Oh, and look, we're even out of those. Yeah, let's make more of those. And let's go get some more belts. Well, no, I think we're okay on belts. Alright, so belt. That's going to be a belt. And then we're going to need to go under here. Right? And then that comes up here. And this is where we're going to marry the two of them up. Right? So there's that, there's that. There's our split belt. And then that can come up under here. Give ourselves one for room. We can always go back and move it. Right? And then this comes right down here. And you know what, we'll move that out of the way for now. There we go. Alright, so let's put a pole back. Where can we reach the pole? Yeah, yeah. Can we get it over here and do it? There it is. We reached. Just reaching it. Oh, and of course it, yeah. Well, you know what? Fine. That's what we make them. That's what we made them for, right? I was just hoping. Alright. There we go. Enough of this silliness, right? Let's just get her going. Alright, so there we go. Oh, we don't have power up here. Why? Why don't we have... What? What's wrong with this pole? That was weird. It was like the pole didn't have power. Alright, so let's grab up all of this red science that we can and get it back in the system before or you know what we may end up doing, and I think what we're going to end up having to do is temporarily, so that's this one right here, right? Red. And then that'll put it on that side. And put it in there. Put it in there. That'll get her loaded on there. We should have probably done the same thing with the green before we let the green go, but We didn't, because we're stupid. That's okay. Eventually, it will stack. And if we put a fast inserter, theoretically, it'll fill them gaps faster than the thing will make it. Hopefully, anyway. All right, so there's that. So that means we can grab this up, and we can stick this here for now, and we can put what little military science we have right on in there, and that puts us back in business. Okay, so now we have our green science being made, our red science being made. We should not ever have to come up to this area again unless it's to look around and look at something. How's our radar coverage? Okay, we got radar coverage there. We do need to go down here and put a radar down here somewhere because we can't see that wall, but we'll get to it. We will get to it, probably off camera. But there we go. That's feeding that. That's feeding that. Let's finish up our turns here, so that we've got that done. So we come 1, 2, 3, belt. And grab some more. Should be plenty for what we need to get done. Right, and then bring that right out. See if that's lined up. There, 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 and there. If I hit it properly, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll see if I lined it up right or not. I think I did. Yep. Ooh. Let's not do that. There we go. Alright. So we got our belts turned. So there we go. So there's that. Now, we will need to eventually bring that over. But the next thing we're going to do, before this episode is over, is, like I said, we're going to set up our belt manufacturing so that we have that going. Now, luckily, we already dealt with this, like I say, in the last episode, so we can just go ahead and grab our belt schematic right here. And what we may need to do is we may not have left ourselves enough room here. Alright, I was going to plop it right here. You know what? I got the wrong schematic. That's my inserters. Whew. I'm losing my mind, guys. You guys got to keep me straight. Where's my belts? There's my belts. Yeah, see, that fits right there. Now we're going to put this into chests, and the reason we're going to put this into chests is because we don't need these inserters for anything else, or these belts for anything else. We just need the belts. So why not just go ahead and set this up and leave the chests here. We can later on turn them into the chests that we need to have, and we can go from there. So let's go ahead and plop this down, get everything laid out, and then we'll figure out what our goes into supplies are. But one thing I might do, because our bus and everything else is over here, and we're going to need to pull off of the bus, let's turn this way so that you know, we're kind of oriented in the right direction here. So throw that down. And then let's throw in our factories. I'll tell you, it's nice that we can now transfer our schematics from one game to the next. It's nice to be able to do that and to be able to, you know, if you not have to reinvent the wheel every single time. It's, I don't know how anybody else feels about it. I know there's a certain amount of finagling that you have to do to make things fit based on the territory you are in, but I definitely like the fact that I can at least, you know, have a starting place. You know what I mean? Now, let's see. And if memory serves me right, this chest was for leftovers. Are these steel or are these? Nope, these are steel. Yeah, these are the steel chests. I'm going to put steel chests down. Do I have enough to make another one? I have enough to make plenty more. Just to give myself the storage space. Now, what I could do, I suppose, but why, would be to put down for the yellows as well. Alright, so let's pull our schematic back up so we make sure that we get the right one set up for the right one. So it's red belt, yellow underground, red underground. So red belt, yellow underground, red underground. That would mean that this is going to be yellow splitter, red splitter, right? Right. So now, throw ourselves down some belts here. Where's that belt going? I can't see. Take this pole away. Oh, okay, because that's a double belt. Oops. There we go. Are we out of undergrounds again? I thought I made more. All right. Well, let's grab some plates real quick. What are we missing? Actually, plates. All right, fine. So there to there. Now we can put that pole back. Now that we can see which direction it's going. There we go. Alright, so now it's set up. Now let's figure out what it was that we had going where. So this is the farthest one, so let's see what we have to have on this. We have to have green circuits. We have to have iron gears because that's coming from there. So this one was green circuits and iron gears right here. So let's do this just to remind ourselves. Green circuits, iron gears, and then I'm going to assume, in all likelihood, yep, plates and belts. So, and then that's going to be plates and belts, and yep, so we want plates and belts to go in on this one. So this is actually supposed to be another double fed belt. And again, for this particular application, doubling up the belts isn't such a big deal because we're not making a huge ton of these. These are going to sit in chests for us for when we want to use them, and we'll go from there. Now eventually we're going to want our high speed, and we may be able to fit that in, excuse me, over here. If not, we may have to maneuver this around and, you know, move this out of the way or something. We'll see when we come to it. Right now we don't need our super high speed belts. We just need what we got here. So we need green circuits and gears, and I think these two are side by side. So once again we're pulling off of both of these. So we probably should have planned for it at the time, I guess, maybe. Well, you know what? We're pulling off of them there, too. Can we? No, I don't. Well, see, because this is inserters. It's not going to kill us, I don't think, if we pick off of this line. If we start to see a problem with it up here with regards to our green science, we'll worry about it, I guess. But until we do, let's do this. Let's put a splitter right here, an underground right here, and a belt right there. Right? And then that is going to bring that right on up to where we need it. Right? And we're going to have to go one here for that. Almost like I planned it, because then we can get rid of this, we can get rid of this, right? And we've already got it split, or we've already got it doubled up on the belt. Oops. If we can put our belt in the right direction. Right? So there we go. So that's going to bring those in. Now we just need plates and belts. Nice. And plates are right here. Belts are right here. We only have the one line of belts. So splitting off from that is splitting off from that. It doesn't really matter. We're not having to balance anything. Boom. Do we have another underground? We do not have another underground. Of course we don't. And of course we need plates. There we go. Underground. That should give us enough at least. Right? Theoretically. Alright. So now, we'll bring this down a little bit. That goes there, that goes there. Now, where are we going to bring our plates in? Well, I suppose 1, 2, 3, 4. Ugh, that got ugly. All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Drink. All right. Don't want to do this, but because this is not long enough yet, we don't have. You know what? I think we can. Is this loaded up yet? That's loaded up on the gears. All right. Let's do this. I'm going to take advantage of the longer reach on the reds. That way, I can come up here with this. Right like that. And we have not put our balancer in yet. That's something else that we'll do real quick before we call it quits this episode. because I don't know if you guys remember from the last episode, I said that now that we are pulling off all 4 belts, I want to go ahead and throw a balancer in there in order to make sure that the iron stays well balanced. We're really not. Yeah, that we finally pulled off our we pulled off our 3rd copper, right? So we'll wait. We'll do one more pull on the copper, and then we will balance our copper, I guess. I mean, we could do it right here and just do both of them. I suppose we could do both of them right here. All right, let's do both of them. So where's our balancer schematic, so we know just how much room we need to make. So from right there to right there. All right. So if we go, oops, you know what? No. Over by 1, so we can do both of them. Well, hell, we'll do it right there. All right, right there. And the thing is we will use this copper. You know it, and I know it. And we'll use the iron plates as well. We both know we will. If nothing else, we can always throw it back into the system. That's what that buffer's for, right? So that we can throw it back into the buffer. You know what? Let's not screw this up. Even though I know how to do this, let's get in the habit of doing this, because eventually we're going to have the robots doing all of it. So if we get in the habit of using the schematics now, I know. Why am I taking these to do it? Well, because I'm stupid that way, I guess, if you will. Dagnabbit. Come on, give me one more. I think that'll give us enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically wait for my supply of belts and whatnot to build up, and at that point I will start replacing this stuff so that you guys don't have to watch it offline or watch me do it. I'll do it offline. You don't have to watch me screw around with it. You know, get it done and be done with it, and I will go through and basically replace all the belts and have them done, and then I think next episode what we will probably do is to get our inserters running. The same way, so that we have them going as well. There we go. So now we got them balanced. I just periodically like to put balancers on so that we don't have to worry too much about you know, one line getting fed and the other one's not, and what have you. All right, so there we go, guys. That gives us our belt manufacturing. I'm going to dump whatever excess of these belts we've got in there. let them go through the system. Let it all cook. Let's see, do we have any undergrounds? No more undergrounds. Put them in there, get them going. Yeah, all right. So from here on out, we will be able to use red belts. We got it all built and ready to go. And that should now obviously we're wasting some of the gears because this is, you know, our not, what is it? No, everything's, it's calling for everything. We're okay. What am I thinking? What is it pulling all the way here that I don't need? Why am I pulling belts all the way to there? I don't need belts. I need green, gears, and that. That's what I'm wasting, is this right here. I don't need that. I'm losing my mind, guys. Wow. All right, well, now we know we need to update that schematic. And you know what? Let's put down some lights so that we have lights. Lights are nice. I like lights. I bet you guys like them too, because then you can see. So let's bang out those lights real quick. In the interim, let me just say, appreciate you guys being here. I hope you guys are getting something out of this. We are going to be adding some more mods here very shortly. Now that we've got more of our infrastructure going. Any of the mods that I'm using, you can find them down in the doobly-doo at the bottom. So if you guys kind of want to follow along with what mods I have or whatever, you're welcome to. They're down there. All right. So hopefully you got something out of this. At least if nothing else, you were entertained by just how stupid I am. I hope not, but you know, hey, whatever. And we'll go from there. So you know, like, subscribe, you know, what have you, and I will talk to you later. All right, bye.